Chase Brown or Bucky Irving rest of season. I think this is kind of interesting. Chase Brown, he's been producing. Bucky Irving, we know. We talked about him earlier. Steve, I'll go to you first on this one, and then I'll go to Anthony. Chase Brown or Bucky Irving rest of season?
Yeah, I mean, both these guys are smaller backs, but absolute dynamite. I mean, Chase Brown has been taking off ever since Zach Moss has been out of the mix. And he was starting to take over even prior to that injury. Little bit better offense with the Bengals, and their defense has been horrendous. Tampa Bay's defense has been bad too. So both these teams play a lot of high scoring games, a lot of catch up scores. I'm gonna go slightly Chase Brown. I mean, 27 carries, 120 against the Raiders. He's catching 11 balls against the Ravens for 52 yards, 7 against the Chargers, another 3 yesterday, another 12 for 70 on the ground against Pittsburgh. So, yeah, slight edge to Chase Brown. Bucky's a little bit banged up with the hip injury. We don't know how serious it is. You got Rachaad White in the mix a little bit as well. Chase Brown, there's pretty much nobody else. There was some talk that possibly Khalil Herbert could get some burn, but that looks like it's not going to happen. The Bengals season, I mean, they're still going to fight, but it's, they got one last shot. I guess they got to win. They got to totally win out and get a lot of help. But yeah, I'll go Chase Brown slightly.
Yeah, this is really close. We talked about Bucky and Irving, and it was not close. Or Bucky and Najee earlier, and that really wasn't close for me. Bucky and Chase Brown is really close. Bucky Irving, a little bit of a timeshare, even though he is emerging as the guy, 16-plus touches in 3 straight. And then, it's ascending. He had 18 in week 12, 26 this past week, at least 3 targets in every game since week 7. On the season, he's at 12.7 touches per game. So you can see in the past 3 games, he's going well over that mark. I'm not as worried about the hip injury. They're already downplaying it. And the rest of the season schedule, Raiders, Chargers, Dallas, Carolina in the fantasy championship, that week 16 and 17 is really juicy. He's efficient. He's targeted out of the backfield. He's becoming a do-it-all running back, and they have a good passing attack. So they can't just focus on stacking the box and taking out Bucky Irving. On the other side, it's a very similar situation. You can't stack the box against Chase Brown because you have Joe Burrow and a very prolific passing attack. Now, here's where I favor Chase Brown. On the year, he's at 15.9 touches per game. But ever since Zach Moss went down, and even when Zach Moss was still around, Chase Brown was still ascending. Since Khalil Herbert got there, I think Herbert literally has 1 touch. Every touch, for the most part, is going to Chase Brown in that backfield. And people worry about his size. He is delivering. He's not banged up. He's over 19 PPR points in every game since week 9, including 2 over 24. Getting it done as a receiver, similar to Bucky Irving. Only whose offense do I trust more? I think I trust the Cincy offense a little bit more, but their schedule is not as good. I love the Bucky Irving schedule. I like the Chase Brown schedule. Got Dallas, Tennessee, Cleveland, Denver in the fantasy championship. I don't think it's a gauntlet like Najee Harris, but I think it's a little bit of a tougher road. If I had to only pick one, I think I'm with Steve. I still would slightly lean Chase Brown. But it's really close.
It's close. That's why I pulled it up. It's a great question by Matt. I would lean Chase Brown. And Anthony, you kind of alluded to it. I was looking at the last 3 weeks. Last 3 weeks, Chase Brown has gotten 85% of the running back carries over the last 3 weeks to Khalil Herbert and his 3%. In terms of passing targets, in terms of the backfield specifically, Chase Brown 12, Khalil Herbert 0. So, yeah, I would go Chase Brown here.